Good evening. We're back with more Marvel Champions, and this evening will be deck analysis and buying guide for the Nebula deck that was featured in the last gameplay video for this Nebula Spotlight. So we'll talk about the deck. In general, the Guardians of the Galaxy decks are expensive to build if you want the full version, because each of the individual Guardians of the Galaxy allies were spread out across the entire cycle. You had Groot and Rocket Raccoon allies coming in Galaxy's Most Wanted, Drax from the Gamora Hero Pack, Gamora from the Drax Hero Pack, and then Welcome Aboard from the Venom Hero Pack. And so, if you asked my opinion on whether I thought you would get your money's worth out of buying the entire Galaxy's Most Wanted cycle, my answer would be unless you really want Nebula for thematic reasons. No, I don't think it's worth it to buy the Galaxy's Most Wanted cycle. I would not recommend it. You will not get your money's worth out of it in terms of the power that you will get from the cards. But if that is not your goal in the game, if your goal is more thematic, well, then you may want to do that. And so we'll go over the Nebula deck. The deck features the best of the leadership allies, that would be Beast, Kalu, Maria Hill, and White Tiger, along with the package from the Wasp Hero Pack, Ironheart, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Power in All of Us. That is featured in a lot of different decks, along with Rapid Response from the Black Widow Hero Pack, and Beast from the Cyclops Hero Pack that is featured in a lot of leadership decks. The cards that are replaceable, to be honest, they're pretty much all interchangeable. White Tiger is the best ally in my opinion. Cyclops for the Beast hero or ally is very strong. Do you have to have the Guardians of the Galaxy in order to play a leadership Nebula deck? Not really. Not really. They're okay, but none of them are extremely high value. The best of them is, in my opinion, Gamora, who gives 4 attack, 2 card draw, and a jump block. That's very strong value. Gamora is very good. And the others are just so-so. You could take or leave Rocket, Groot, and Drax. So if you wanted to play a budget version of this deck, of a Guardians of the Galaxy deck, my view is that Star-Lord is the best of the Guardians. But if you wanted to play a budget Nebula deck, you could leave out the Galaxy's Most Wanted expansion, you could leave out the Venom Hero Pack, and you could swap in for Welcome Aboard the Leadership Resource Generator, the card that reads generate 2 resources for a leadership card that was included in the very early in the game's life. And you can go with just the standard leadership package that you've probably got already if you're a leadership player. Kalu, White Tiger, possibly Beast, Rapid Response. If you have the Wasp Hero Pack, you can include that package. And then just leave out Groot, Rocket Raccoon, Drax, and Welcome Aboard, and you'll do just fine. Just pick up Drax for the Gamora ally. That would be my recommendation for a budget version of this deck that would save you a lot of money and cut the total cost from $180 down to about $105 if you only had $120 if you only had the core set and you wanted to pick up Nebula. Now, as for the overall strength of Nebula, she's not strong. She did defeat Rhino on Heroic 1. She failed to defeat Absorbing Man on Heroic 1, and then in my playtesting in the gameplay video, she was able to get through Taskmaster on Expert, a relatively mild scenario, but she flunked out on Thanos after a long battle. And so I don't think her power ceiling is very high, and the reason is her resource generation is tied to her alter ego, and that is never good in solo play to have your resource generation tied to alter ego. All that she has, if she doesn't go alter ego, is her ship, which does generate 1 resource, but compared to a lot of other heroes, this is relatively mild resource generation. So she struggles to generate resources, and therefore she struggles in solo play and should be considered really only for thematic reasons, in my opinion. It is similar with the other Guardians, some of whom we will feature in hero spotlights and some of whom will not be spotlighted. Groot, in particular, I can safely say unlikely to receive a hero spotlight, as his mechanics are, in my opinion, pretty broken. Not in a good way. Not broken like overpowered, broken as in they don't function in a way that is either enjoyable to play or powerful. At least, that's my opinion on Groot. But Nebula can be fun. She can feel a little frustrating or constrained as well, with the upgrade cycling in and out so often. It doesn't really feel like you're gaining power over the course of the game. Whatever you start the game with is pretty much what you're going to end the game with. Anyway, that is my view on Nebula. Probably go with these lo-fi lists for the hero packs in the future, as opposed to the pictures of the cards in hero packs that I was doing in the past. And the reason for that is that it's time consuming and I'd like to be able to get to more heroes. And I can do that if I cut out the graphics and go lower tech, because that is time consuming. And hopefully viewers will understand. In any case, this Hero Spotlight was enjoyable, though I will say that, relatively speaking, the Guardians are not really my favorite, except for Star-Lord. Star-Lord's a lot of fun, and Star-Lord will be the next hero that we feature in a Hero Spotlight, and looking forward to that. So, thank you for watching.